I just want one fake Instagram video of Rob Williams with a basketball.
Oh, you didn't see him, John?
Oh, is there one?
Oh, last couple of days they've been flying around. He's working with a trainer I know named Aaron. I can't think of the last name off the top, but yeah, he was putting shots up. He was dribbling around. It was your classic highlight video.
How are you not sending these to me?
I thought you would have seen them. I didn't.
No, I've been in a cave. I've been roasting under the sun for a couple of weeks, but no, I missed that. So I want that back.
Hey, did you fall asleep at a Fish concert? Is that what happened? Or Grateful Dead? That's what it was. Grateful Dead.
Yeah. No, I just this is how I roll.
Yeah, we'll get those out to you, John. I'll do the Jimmy for now.
Ahmed heard it. He sent it to me. Oh my God! Let me watch. Oh my God, Rob! Look at this guy.
Wait, what? Let me see it.
No, I'm watching it. I'm not gonna get copyrighted by putting someone else's content.
Here's a still.
Oh my God! He just hit a lefty one-handed shot in the lane.
Okay.
Look at that.
Looking svelte.
This is better than any Ben Simmons video I've ever seen.
I thought you would have been all over this, Sean. Look at that. He's got things flying around at him.
Oh my God, this is so good.
I did hear, by the way. So he's been in the.
So here's the thing.
Rob stunk.
I don't care about whether or not he hit jumpers in the video. He's going to hit jumpers during the year. I'm just glad he's playing basketball now. Because last year you wondered what was going on.
We never saw a video of him.
Never at any point. And in fact, it was very clear that when he showed up, finally, he just showed up to work out in Waltham and they were in Brighton, and a couple days in, he was like, "Oh man, my knee hurts," and they're like, "What?"
Yeah, and so that's what happened. I finally.
Who cares if this highlight reel is against
I just care that he's
5'8"
playing. I just care that he's actually working on his game. That's the key. Because I don't think he's done any basketball related activity for the last couple off seasons. So any step forward you want to see him take on his game, he hasn't been able to do.
So yeah, and he
is not.
He stayed in Boston after the season, which is something he didn't do last year. And was checking all the boxes and just close to the team, for that month or so after the season ended. And I think, he's gone back down south home now, but you're seeing the videos that he's continuing that progress down there. And again, like you said, John, the way you drew it up almost was exactly how it happened. It was like a full summer at home, just hanging out, showed up to camp, complained about the knee, boom, surgery. So it's a completely different summer this time around for Rob, which is very encouraging. Question I just have is what kind of role he's going to have on this roster. I think the plan probably is for him to start next to Porzingis, but I'm not certain of that. I just don't know how that fit's going to go on offense, where one guy always needs to be in the middle of the floor. But they could be devastating defensively if they find a way to make it work.
But if Rob, again, everyone knows the wild card with the health. Nobody thinks just because he's playing a little basketball in the offseason that he's going to be healthy. That's not the point. The point is entering camp in shape, because he hasn't been.
I think he will.
Either due to surgery or 2 years ago just showing up overweight and not in basketball shape. It was obviously not done stuff. And going in the quote-unquote lab, as the kids like to say, and actually working on some aspects of your game. So when you catch the ball, you actually might consider looking towards the basket and seeing what you might be able to do. He's the one, he and Jalen are the two massive athletic edges they have on this team. He can't limit himself. He has to recognize that he can be a weapon in more ways than just a lob threat and on the offensive glass. So he can do anything resembling half-court basketball that helps this team. Massive thing, but also just showing up in shape so we don't have to say wow, it doesn't look like Rob can jump for the first 3 months of the year because he's working his way into shape. Right. That would be amazing.
And
just
that's how you lose.
Showing up and being able to jump out of the gym like he normally does would be great,
What they need Rob more than ever because they are so still extremely thin at that position. I don't know. They're not addressing it. They just traded Grant. I mean, you can say Porzingis is a bigger guy, but he doesn't play that style of basketball on the defensive end, obviously. So they need Rob to really be ready to go to start this year. They just do.
Yeah,
how much are you going to get out of Al this year? You don't know. I mean, it's all bonus.
Garden Report is brought to you by AG1. Go to drinkag1.com/garden for 5 free travel packs as well as a year's supply of vitamin D. That's drinkag1.com/garden.
Need the Rob leap at some point, because ultimately, what did you say when they signed him? This could be a steal of a signing, because he was at that point. You're already your third best player, and you're like, if he could be an all-star if he continues on a trajectory just based off of his freakishness and his defense, and the center position not being necessarily like, well, obviously it has a bunch of great players now, but he, there's so many things that he could do for you. If he can even do some of them, it makes a big difference, because he's been flat, if not backwards, since his breakout 2 years ago when Brad refused to play him.
No, and there's going to be something of a competition for that 5th spot in the lineup. Like, I've advocated for Horford there because I just think it makes more sense. But if Rob comes in, as you said, John, improved, blowing everybody away, and a little more versatile, you could do some special things out there defensively again with Porzingis and Rob playing together. Rob playing that role he did a couple of years ago, and with White.
But also, again, and if they start to look to Rob as somebody who they can work into their offense, as opposed to ignoring him, for entire stretches out there. He's a guy who shoots 80% from the floor. Like, get him the ball occasionally.
Yeah, last season was really bad. And again,
they don't even look at him.
They don't look at him.
The amount of lob attempts that Brown and Tatum miss, because their heads down. Like, look for the friggin' guy. He's a threat.
Yeah, I worried about the trade because
it's over now.
Yep, he did.
I know, right? He was the one guy, and I'll still go back to that, but that's for another day.
All right.
He needs to have a huge year. He really does.
I like it.
Because last year was a step back, and it wasn't a completely lost season. But you go look at the reference page, Jimmy. Like 35 games. I mean, in those games, like half of them probably weren't very effective. So how many good games did he have last year? Like a little over a dozen.
Rob.
Yeah.
Even his games where the eye test told you he was ineffective, the metrics said that he was. So again, he's an impact player at 40%, which last year he was about 50% all year. I mean, not even close.
You're just still waiting for him to become something more than he is. And part of this trade, John, I think is something of an acknowledgement that you don't want to just keep waiting forever on that.
Sink or swim.
Have to hedge, yeah.
Sink or swim with Rob.
The CLNS Media Network is powered by FanDuel. Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed.